Hey guys, I'm Chris from Lucky Gunner. A few weeks ago, I posted a review of the new single-stack 9mm Glock 43. My initial impressions were positive, but that was just a preliminary review. I told you guys I was going to keep working with the Glock 43 to find out what it's really capable of, and today I've got a quick update for you. I tested accuracy with 9 different hollow point loads. I set up a bench rest at 25 yards and shot 2 5-round groups with each load. Here's what I got. The 4 most accurate loads all grouped within about half an inch of each other, right around 4 inches. Spear Gold Dot 115 grain was at the top, followed by Winchester PDX 1 147 grain, then Corbon DPX and the Plus P Winchester PDX load. The SIG ammo and 2 Hornady loads averaged groups closer to 5 or 6 inches, and then at the bottom we have Federal HST 147 grain and another Corbon load. There didn't seem to be any real trends as far as bullet weights or velocities that the Glock 43 seems to shoot more consistently, but this is kind of a small sample size, and of course there's plenty of room for human error, so take it all with a grain of salt, but it should give you a general idea of what kind of accuracy to expect out of the Glock 43. I had a few rounds of the Hornady Critical Duty left over at the end of the day, so just for fun, I tried a few shots at 50 yards on the 18 by 9.5 inch steel plate. The first 5 shots were hits, so I decided to quit on a high note. Now that's not exactly a scientific accuracy test or anything, but it just goes to show you that, like most modern pistols, the mechanical accuracy of the Glock 43 is pretty good, as long as you're not expecting it to be a target pistol. Tracking the reliability of the Glock 43 has been a little more interesting. So far, I've got 1,357 rounds through the gun, 467 of that have been hollow point loads, and 890 of that is a mixture of MagTech and Blazer Brass FMJ rounds. So far, I have not had one stoppage or malfunction that I'm willing to blame on the gun itself. I have had several issues that I think are the result of third-party accessories. The first is some light primer strikes. I've had 4 of those total. 3 happened with the MagTech ammo, and 1 was with the Corbon DPX. But all of these happened after I installed the Ghost Edge connector. This is just a little part you put in the trigger group. It kind of smooths out the trigger pull a little bit. I wasn't expecting it to cause any problems, but I think that may be the reason for the light primer strikes. So I'm going to put the original factory connector back in the gun, and we'll see if the light strikes go away. The bigger problem I've had is with failures to feed. I've had 14 of them total, all of them with hollow point ammunition using these 2 magazines. These are the magazines I installed the Taran Tactical extended base pads on. These increase the magazine capacity. Factory magazine is 6 rounds. With this base pad it holds 7. With this one it's 8. In the previous review I mentioned that I was skeptical of these because they use the factory magazine spring. So you're basically asking the original spring to do more work than it's designed to do. And after keeping these magazines loaded for a couple of weeks, sure enough, these feeding problems started popping up. As far as I can tell, what's happening is the spring is not pushing up on the cartridges with enough force, so they tend to kind of nosedive a little bit and lean forward. So when the slide comes forward to load in the next round, instead of going up the feed ramp and into the chamber, it just kind of slams into the bottom of the feed ramp and gets stuck there. The slide hangs up on the rear of the cartridge, and you get a failure that looks something like this. It looks like a premature slide lock, but the slide stop lever is not engaged. The cartridge is what's keeping the slide open. Usually a simple tap rack drill will take care of this, but that didn't work every time. And like I said, it's only happened with these magazines and with hollow point ammunition. And really it's only happened with the heavier bullets, the 124, 135, 147 grain bullets. But even with the lighter 115 grain bullets, I would not carry the Glock 43 right now with the Taran Tactical base pads. And it's not that these base pads are a bad product or poor quality, it's just that they're not really working that well in conjunction with the factory magazines. There are some aftermarket extra power magazine springs. I'm going to get a couple of those and install them, see if that helps out a little bit. For the time being, I'm going to stick to the factory magazines, and let this be a lesson and a reminder. Always test your carry gun with your carry ammo. I'd say at least 100 rounds. And if you have any problems, find a different load that works better. And if you change anything in the gun or with the magazine, you need to do all that testing again because you may have affected the reliability of the gun. With the factory connector and the factory magazine spring, the Glock 43 has been pretty much flawless so far. But we're not even close to being done with this testing. We're going to keep working with the gun and look for an update in the near future.